So right now, the show Vikings on the History Channel is like my jam, and I totally fashioned my hair from that, so. Anyways, back to this video. This is going to be another manga probe video. In today's manga probe video, I will be doing a manga tag that I made up myself. This is a tag I created for my Manga Goodreads group. I will leave a link to the club as well as a link to the actual tag questions in case you want to join or answer the questions yourself or do whatever you want, because I would love more people to join the group and be more active in the group. And so I'm doing the tag to show you guys that I didn't just make up the questions so that you guys could do it and not me. So I'm gonna answer the questions now. So this is called the Manga Madness tag. It's got really no big theme to it. It's just 10 random questions about manga. Honestly, this was kind of like the first tag I put out there just to get some information from all of the club members. There's only been one other manga tag that I've seen floating around YouTube, and I've already done it. And if you want to do that one, I will also leave a link to that tag down below. If you want to do that one as well, I tag you. Boom, you're tagged. Question number 1 is, what was the first manga you ever read? And this was actually, I think, a question in the other tag, so it kind of correlated with the oldest manga that I owned, because obviously the oldest manga that I own is probably the first one that I read. I really don't remember what the first manga I read was, but I do remember these being the earliest of those. DN Angel by Yukiru Sugisaki. And I only have the first 5 volumes of this manga, and I stopped purchasing the manga after the anime came out and watched the entire anime series. By the way, that shit's awesome. Question number 2 is, what manga are you currently reading? Keeping up with Skip Beat, as well as I just started Ore Monogatari because the anime just came out and I loved the first episode, and after watching the first episode I was like, I need to read this right now. So I started reading it online and I'm super enjoying it, so I'll probably go ahead and purchase the actual manga. I am also reading Akagami, can't remember the rest of the title, blah 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 blah, Hime. I'm really sorry, I'll put the title right here. For some reason it's escaping my brain. It is our manga choice for the month of April in the BookTube Manga Club, and I'm enjoying it, but I wouldn't say I'm enjoying it immensely. And then the last thing I'm reading that I am so loving right now is Serif of the End, or Owari no Serif, story by Takaya Kagami and art by Yamato Yamamoto. And I am currently reading volume 3. I'm sort of savoring the manga and reading it very slowly. I own the first 4 volumes, and then I kind of want to restrain myself from reading it online because I love it so much, and the anime just released this spring and it's also amazing. Number 3 is, what is your favorite and least favorite genre to read from? Give reasons why. So I think it goes without saying that my favorite genre is fantasy, and it even is true for manga, although I have been going more towards the seinen side. And then my least favorite is harem, although I have read a few and enjoyed a few, and nisekoi is a more recent harem that I actually really like. And it's not just harem, like anything with like ecchi elements. I can withstand some fan service a little tiny bit, but when it's too much, like it is with Food Wars, that just had an anime release, I can't. And I was hoping that the anime would kind of tone it down a little bit with the male fan service, but it didn't. And that's super frustrating to me because like the story concept sounds awesome and I love cooking shows so much. Yakitate Japan is one of my favorite, and no. Question number 4, do you prefer buying your manga or reading it online? Obviously, I think I've answered this before. I prefer purchasing it as opposed to reading it online, although I'm not opposed to reading it online because obviously I do read it online as well, but I've always stated that if I like a manga enough and I know it has an English release, I will go ahead and purchase it when the time comes that I have the money to. Question number 5 is pick a series that has been turned into an anime. Shouldn't be hard. Did the anime do the manga justice? Why or why not? This is going to be a more recent release, the spring release of Arslan Senki, or The Heroic Legend of Arslan by Yoshiki Tanaka and Hiromu Arakawa, and there are about 2 episodes out right now, and the animation is wonderful, the storyline is beautiful, and it has translated into anime form. Just blew my expectations out of the water. It is my favorite. I look forward to it now every freaking week, and I cannot wait for episode 3 to come out. Not only that, but the opening and ending songs are amazing. Overworld does the opening, and Overworld is like my jam. Overworld I have been listening to forever, ever since they did one of the very first Bleach openings, and so yes. As a huge anime fan, I'm sure a lot of you could relate to the fact that I actually judge anime sometimes based off of their opening and ending songs. It's just something I've always done, and I don't know why I do it, but I do, and so yes, that just brought Arslan Senki from like 10-star rating to like 100-star rating, because they used freaking phenomenal band, the song is awesome, and the actual like opening animation credits is awesome as well. So yes, also the ending song is really cool too. This is not the first anime adaptation of the novels. The first one was actually made in the 80s, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but the ending credits to the newer one kind of pays homage to it with the animation that it uses in the beginning of it, and I thought that was super cool. At least that's how I feel, because if you look at the art style and the pictures in like the still frames in the beginning of the ending song to the newer one, it does sort of remind you of the older anime. Number 6 is, has a manga ever inspired you to pick up a new hobby? What is it? Actually, many times. Especially Prince of Tennis. I never really played it seriously though, although I was familiar with the rules of tennis because of this anime. I actually used to own a Seigaku uniform, and I used to put on that with my tennis shoes, and I had a red racket just like Ryoma, and I would pretend I was Ryoma, and so... Another huge anime that inspired me to pick up a hobby was Hikaru no Go. So, for those of you who don't know, this is Go. It is a strategy board game, kind of like chess. It is like that same similar type, chess and checkers, but it's so much more fun. By the way, Hikaru no Go was illustrated by the same person who illustrated Death Note. If you like that illustrator's stuff, you're gonna want to read Hikaru no Go because it's one of their earlier works. I have since then learned to play Go through the manga. It absolutely teaches you all of the terminologies, all of the moves. I also have Go on my phone. Like, I still play it. At this point in time, none of my friends know how to play it, so I just play with random strangers online. So, question number 7 is, if you could cosplay any manga character, who would you choose and why? For that, I have 2 answers. One of them is a character that I have always wanted to cosplay and just have never had the means to get the costume that I wanted, because her normal everyday outfit is not one that I would like to dress up as, although I'd be okay with it, but it's kind of plain. And that character is Erza from Fairy Tail. She has the most kick-ass costumes I have ever seen. Her powers allows her to change the armor that she has on her body, and this is like her everyday outfit with like an armored top and a regular skirt bottom, and I think that's okay, and I would be okay if I had the means to dress up even like that. There's one where she has like amazing freaking armored wings, and it looks really kick-ass, and I've seen people dress up as it before, and a couple other costumes of hers are also really awesome, and I can't really explain what they look like other than that they're kick-ass. I would also dress up as Olivia Armstrong because she's another badass freaking character, and I love her sword that she carries around and her big coat, and those seem like very expensive pieces of clothing to add on top of the uniform that I'm sure is expensive. So if I could have the means to dress up as her, I totally would. Question number 8 is favorite fictional world. I think it would be really awesome to live in the world of One Piece because I love pirates, and the ideas of these gum fruits everywhere that could give you really awesome powers is also another cool concept. So many gum fruits out there with so many powers. I don't know which one I would choose, but at this point in time, probably actually have to go with Luffy's. I think the idea of being stretchy sounds pretty awesome, and he can't, like, bullets ricochet off of him, and I don't really like to swim, so it wouldn't really matter to me whether I lost my ability to swim. Question number 9 is, if you could have any manga magical abilities, which one would you choose? And I could go with alchemy again, obviously from Fullmetal Alchemist, since it's my favorite series, but I'm gonna go a little bit different this time and go with ninjutsu from Naruto by Masashi Kishimoto. And although ninjutsu is real, like there's real ninjutsu in real life, Naruto obviously takes it into a more fantastical, magical direction. And obviously we have different types of people that have weird magical eye ninjutsus. Ninjutsus where you can split yourself up into a billion clones and stuff like that, like things that are actually magical about this. I think it would be really cool if I could split myself up into several people so that I could get more than one thing done. Like I could be reading all day, I could have one clone read all day while the other one goes to work for me, and then the other one maybe run some errands that I need done. And so I would be reading a lot more if I had a clone that did nothing but read all day for me, although I would probably do the reading one myself and just have my clones do the other things that I don't want to do. So yes, and not only that, but then I would also probably have Sharingan and Byakugan together, like both eye magics together, and I think that would be really cool. I had like one red eye and one white eye, and I'd have like full eye magic capabilities, and as well as other eye magic capabilities. And it would be cool, and I would use it to see through Kakashi's mask and see what he really looks like, because I want to know. Finally, question number 10 is, what 2015 release are you most looking forward to? That is the English release of Tokyo Ghoul. Will be releasing in June, and I cannot wait because I loved the anime. So that was all for the Manga Madness tag. I will be tagging a couple people down below. Check to see if your name is down there. Basically anybody who is in the BookTube Manga Club has been tagged to do this. You are tagged. I tag everybody. There's just very specific people that I want to see do this, and their names are down below. So I look forward to seeing your guys' response videos. As always, if you have any comments or questions, leave them down below, and I will see you guys next time. Ciao!